Mutual funds versus index funds. Which one's better? I don't know. I need you to tell me which one's better. Well, you really don't know because you wouldn't be watching this video if you actually knew. So I'm going to give you the inside scoop. There's a lot of similarities between the two, but there's also some stark differences. Both are great vehicles to hit your financial goals. However, if you play your cards right, you will definitely be on target with those goals if you follow these simple instructions. So in this video, it is my duty and honor in order to walk you through these steps so that you know and have the proper information so that you can make the most educated decision for your next steps to hit your financial goals. In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between a mutual fund versus an index fund. I'm going to go over the pros and the cons of both mutual funds and index funds. 3, I'm going to show you why you would choose one over the other. 4, I'm going to explain how you can become a millionaire, and I'm going to show you the ins and outs of that with this particular vehicle of investment and the secret that most people don't realize in order to become that millionaire with index funds. And 5, how you can begin this journey yourself. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. Antonio X Carter right here for your mind one time. And I'm here to show you the difference between mutual funds versus index funds. And I got a couple of cool things to show you guys. I'm ready to teach this to you because this is a very common question within the financial realm of things. Now, I do teach a lot of things money related or finances. If you keep up with me in my journey, I'm documenting how I go along paying off over $60,000 worth of debt, which if you're a Dave Ramsey fan, you already know debt is not a good thing. And so $60,000 can be a very overwhelming thing. It is very overwhelming for me as well. I spent a lot of money on it, on coaching and things of that nature on my businesses. But I'm also learning a lot of things when it comes to money because I didn't really spend my money in a proper mindset. And also when it comes to investments and such, there's other things I should have had priorities set in. So I'm documenting my process because as a black man in America, I want to show what the world is, or not really what the world is missing, but what I'm missing from what the world has to offer as far as opportunity. And I know there's a lot of other people in my shoes. So if this is the type of information that you like or you're interested in, or I touch on something that you may be interested in, please go ahead, hit that thumbs up button under the video. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button under the video. And after you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell or notification icon so that whenever I upload something, you will get notified. Drop me some comments down below, interact with me because I love to reply. So let's go ahead and get up in this thing. The best way that I can talk about mutual funds and index funds for this particular scenario, I have two props. I have two containers. I keep wanting to call them Ziploc containers, but they're Tupperware containers. And with these, we're just going to say these are different vehicles of investment, namely index funds and mutual funds, okay? This is the best way to think about it right now. So don't take me for literal terms at the moment. With these two containers, they both hold different stocks or utensils. In this case, I have, let's see, I got a baby spoon, I got a baby knife, I got some weird type of fork, the thing's the size like of my face. This is not a regular sized fork. You would not eat this at the dinner table. It's probably for serving. And you got some spoons. I got a Red Bull here next to my left. That's not a utensil, but we'll rock with it, right? Hold on, let me take a little swig real quick. Now I'm nice and energized. Oh, see, I knew that Red Bull was good for something. I left something out and the Red Bull made me realize I left out a knife. All right, so I got these utensils, and with these utensils, I can put them all in one container. I can put them in different containers. But in this case, I'm going to put half here, and I'm going to put half here. So now I have two separate containers with different utensils in them. Now let's just say Each utensil represents a specific company, aka stock. And within these stocks, we'll say maybe some are technology, some are cars, electricity, whatever you want the utensils to be, your favorite company, they go in these containers. Typically, if you didn't put them in containers, you would buy them separately, okay? And so to bring this full circle when it comes to index funds and mutual funds, you have the index fund and a mutual fund in containers. You have different companies in containers. The variety of the different types of companies that can be in each container depends upon what you buy, okay? There's other different types of containers out there that are index funds and mutual funds, but it just depends on what companies or what indexes they are based out of. This one may be $200 for this whole container. This one may be $3,500, $3,500 for the whole container. Now, for the sake of this video, the thing that takes it to the next level is sometimes the mutual fund that you purchase, since it's based upon a specified index, the index is just simply a measure of something. I can have a whole packet of Red Bulls of the pomegranate flavor, and that can be an index, okay? And we can just talk about different flavors of Red Bull, and that can be different indexes, right? So in this case, our indexes are the different stocks in these different stock markets, like the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000. Those are different indexes. So our mutual funds or our containers may be based off of those specific indexes. And for that matter, some of these indexes have more emphasis of a particular industrial sense than others. Some may have an emphasis on technology and cars and electricity or household goods, and you guys get the point. Mutual funds allow you to purchase based upon those indexes, so you don't have to pick just one stock. And if I got 500 knives, or if I just group all of my utensils all together and put them in one index fund, if one goes out, another one could be replaced in its place, and the stock will continue to grow no matter what happens. It will not fail because you have a diversified portfolio, as opposed to if all of my money was just based on this knife, this one stock, this company, my portfolio would have been gone and failed, and I would have lost all of my money. So now that I got you hungry, I'm feeling like Mr. Rogers putting away my shoes. Now that I got you all hungry and everything, let's go ahead and get down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to mutual funds and index funds. So I just explained earlier what an index is, okay? Perfect, we got that settled. Now, a mutual fund itself is a fund that hosts different companies and different stocks. I think I beat that down to a pulp as much as I could as well. Well, the difference between that and the index fund is that your mutual funds are actively managed funds, meaning that somebody special, a person that you've paid, a financial advisor, somebody at Edward Jones or Schwab or some other type, maybe somebody over a hedge fund, some specialist oversees your portfolio, your purchases of your funds to try and beat the market. By beating the market, it means that they're trying to make a better return on your investment more than the average amount of like 6 to 8 to 10%. They're trying to hit 15, 20, 40% so that you could maximize on your return on investment. And for that reason, they can be expensive depending on who you hire. Sometimes they can take 1%, sometimes they can take 2%, 3%. Whatever the amount that you agree to, it may not seem high. However, whenever you look down the road 10, 20, 30 years, that number adds up because that is a lot of money that will not be in your portfolio at the end of the day whenever you're ready to cash out. Now you have a lot of people who say that you cannot beat the market. They don't care how hard that you try. They say that it's impossible, but people are going to try anyway. There's other individuals who have gotten a significant return on investment. Maybe they got lucky, I don't know, but you're paying them in order to beat the market. Warren Buffett, however, does not believe that you should try to beat the market because he waged $1 million bet some years ago, I think back in 2013, I believe, and he placed his bets against some hedge fund managers and said, hey, if I just leave my money in a whole bunch of index funds, it will outperform whatever you do. And sure enough, the person who won the $1 million bet was Warren Buffett. And so I just recently purchased a book about beating the market, and it's called The Little Book That Beats the Market. It's a very popular book. Some people call it the magic formula. And I'm actually opening up an M1 account or Robinhood, I think Robinhood account, to try it and see if this book returns the type of investments that it talks about, just to simply try it. I'm going to win either way because, you know, I'm going to make money. But this is the perfect timing to talk about index funds. Index funds are passively managed, being that you don't have to pay somebody in order to manage your index funds. You don't have to lose money based upon percentages and stuff like that. But because of the fact that you have more control over this, anything that happens is your responsibility. It's your expertise, your knowledge that's going to dictate how far your portfolio goes when it comes to mutual funds versus index funds. But at the end of the day, it's going to be your choice between mutual funds or index funds. So that brings me to my next step, which is bringing you the pros and the cons of each when it comes to mutual funds and index funds. You're going to hear me say that word a lot. I'm sorry. It's very redundant, but I'm going to do it anyway. So the pros of mutual funds. Obviously, with the mutual fund, I told you earlier that you have a specialist, somebody who takes care of your portfolio. You are paying this individual in order to make you money. Hopefully, he does exceedingly and abundantly above all things. Sorry. Got a little carried away there talking about mutual funds. But yeah, hopefully he goes well beyond and produces awesome results for you and beats the market. Like if that's you, if you want to be risky like that and you want to take the gamble and you don't want to just put your money in and just let it do its thing, then hey, kudos to you. I hope it does very well. I hope you make more than 15% to make it well worth your time. Also, another pro about mutual funds is that your funds will be diversified. You know, you don't have to worry about one company crashing and then because of the fact that you put all your eggs in one basket, you've lost all of your money. It's going to take a whole lot for a mutual fund to do bad. And so typically mutual funds is a very safe bet. And of course, the long-term strategy, you really have to be invested in the long term when it comes to mutual funds. This isn't something that's going to make you rich, become a millionaire overnight. All right. This isn't something where a stock like the GameStop thing that was happening not too long ago. That's not going to happen with mutual funds, guys. I'm sorry. You're not going to become a millionaire in 1 week off of mutual funds unless you get a loan for $1 million. But since that's not happening, let's go ahead and talk about the cons of mutual funds. The con of the mutual fund is you have to have a specialist. You have to have a specialist manage your account. This is an actively managed fund, okay? So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because I want you to have as much money as possible at the end of the day. For some people, it may not be a con. All right, enough of that. I've talked about that enough. The other negative thing is that mutual funds can be fairly expensive. The buy-in is not cheap. Okay, there's a lot of different cool funds out there that do extremely well, but they cost a pretty penny. I know one of the more popular ones is approximately $3,500 to just buy in. But if you buy in, you will do very well during the course of time. And as you continue to buy more stocks, it only grows, it gets better and better. You have something that's very stable. But if you're just beginning, you're going to have to look at something like ETFs. And I also kind of lightly touch on ETFs and how to become a millionaire with index funds. But hopefully by the time I upload this video, I have created another video on ETFs. If not, stay tuned. I will create one for you because it is very important. Now let's go ahead and jump over to index funds. Index funds is very similar. Index funds are very similar. A lot of the same pros and cons. However, this is a passively managed fund, meaning that you don't have to spend the money in order for somebody to manage your account if you have index funds in it. You can do this, you can go to different platforms and stuff and open up your own account. You play by your own rules. Toast to that. You know, some people just want more control of their money, of their investment portfolio, and I completely understand that. But just know you're not really trying to beat the market. You're mirroring the market in hopes that the stuff that you have in there does slightly better than whatever index that you're competing with, if I can use that term. And for that reason, it's less expensive as well. Now, the index fund is created so that you don't have to be an expert at doing this stuff. You just kind of point and click. And you have companies like Vanguard, Schwab, and Fidelity who can help you with these type of things. They have their representatives, they have tutorials, there's plenty of things on YouTube, and there's no excuse to get index funds and do well. All right, guys, you will be fine if you choose this method. However, the con, just like mutual funds, because it is a type of mutual fund, it can only be traded once during a day. With an ETF, is different than a index fund. ETFs can actually be traded multiple times a day because it's technically a stock, not a fund. But anyway, I don't want to muddy the waters there. I don't want to get that confused. And then we can call this a con, but it's really not. But it is a long-term thing, okay? So both mutual funds and index funds, you have to be in this for the long run. I mean, you have a savings account, you have a bank account, checking account, whatever you want to call it. You're gonna have money in those things anyway, so why not put money back into these type of investment portfolios so that you can have money 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line, okay? And it grows by itself. So this is really a win-win type of thing. No matter whether you choose mutual funds or index funds, you're gonna come out on the other side happy as a clam. How's a clam look happy? I don't know about that saying there, but you really can't choose a bad vehicle here. So why invest in one or the other? This is completely by preference, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that one is better than the other. I love to eat me some cereal. You give me a bowl of cereal and I'm good, but I don't like Lucky Charms. My wife loves Lucky Charms. I like Captain Crunch. She doesn't really eat Captain Crunch. So which one's better? They're both cereal. Ah, you see what I did there? You see what I did there? So seriously, why invest in one over the other? I like to say it's time versus the gamble, okay? You're either going to do things that are with a passive mindset that is long-term, or you really want to be like you're in a casino and you want to risk things, you want to win big or go home type of ordeal. And that's where you would do the mutual fund, except you're not really risking as much because you're still going to come out on top, but you are paying somebody else to manage your stuff. You run the risk of not really making as much as you could when it comes with mutual funds versus index funds. You may win a lot, you may lose some, but either way, the person who's managing your mutual fund is still gonna get paid the same amount, whether you do good or bad, but you both still win at the end of the day. With that being said, time always wins, and so with both of these different vehicles of investment, the longer you do both of these with time, don't just do it for 10 years if you can, or 20 years. Try and do it for 30 years at least. You will come out on top immensely. But hey, some people just like to take risks. And I completely understand that. It's your money. You create your own destiny. Just send me the testimony after it's done and let me know what you did. Also, with that said, let me say something else. If you're going to choose a financial advisor of some sort with the mutual funds, please make sure they have a track record. Don't just pick somebody who is green behind the ears, who is brand new, straight out of college, and making all these promises to you if they do not have the experience or the track record to prove what they are saying, okay? This is your hard-earned money. Please use it wisely. So another thing I want to touch on, how you can actually become a millionaire investing in index funds. I lightly touched on this earlier, but I'm going to lightly touch on it again. I created a video about that here. This is very realistic. This is where I feel like I failed at life because I've given my body to sports, you know, thinking that I could make my first $1 million playing sports, going professional at something. I knew that I wasn't going to be a superstar or nothing, but I just needed to get a contract and put on a jersey. And I seriously only thought that I could make like my first million playing sports. Little did I know that we could use something simple as index funds to become a millionaire. And so in a sense, I feel lied to. And so to prove this, to show you how realistic this is, even if you're not making a lot of money, you don't need a six-figure job in order to do this. You can just make a decent income. You can make low income, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Go read the book. That's what that's all about. You can make a small amount of income and still come out rich. And I'm going to prove this to you right now, but first I have to go over to my laptop. But if you want a more super detailed blueprint or explanation, please go watch my video. I highly advise you to do so. The description is under my video. So hold on 1 second. What's going on, guys? Antonio X Carter here. I want to show you this beautiful graph here to really give you a bird's eye view of what I'm talking about. And so earlier I was telling you about how to become a millionaire with index funds. And so we're going to replicate that right now. So theoretically, let's say we start with $10,000, you're able to contribute $200 per month, and the rate of return is not 4%, but at least, we'll say 8%, okay? And we give you 15 years to grow that. A whopping $102,000 $102,000. And if you scroll down here, I love this. Smartasset.com is genius for this graph. I love it. But you can see in the blue is for your starting amount of $10,000. Then the green is your total contributions. And then the gold is the interest that builds upon it. That's the crazy part. The amount of money that you're making, $56,277 during that time period, it supersedes the total amount of contributions of $36,000. So the interest is compounding on itself. This is the power of compounding interest. So now, let's say we get a little bit more aggressive and you're able to make 10% return with your index funds. Your $106,000 now turns into $127,000 just simply by putting in $200 per month of your index funds. Now, let's say that you do a mutual fund, which is actively managed portfolio, and this person's able to help you get 18%. Whoa, so you just tripled everything. You've gone to $280,000 in interest after contributing the same amount of $36,000. Rather interesting, right? Well, what if I was to tell you that it is not hard for you to get a good 12% in index funds without having to, manipulate everything and hire somebody? Even 15%, okay? With just index funds. This is amazing. Now, we're talking about becoming millionaires here. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty good. So let's say you have 30 years at 15%. That gives you over $1 million. You become a multi-million dollar person, the multi-million dollar man or woman, right? If you're able to have 30 years of just $200 per month investing in mutual funds and index funds. Now, I do expect you guys at some point to go from $200 to be able to invest a whole lot more. Let's say $500. You're at nearly $4.5 million. Okay, this is phenomenal. Now, what if you're able to do $1,000 per month at 15%? You're at nearly $8 million. You've contributed $360,000 and you've earned $7.5 million in interest at 15%. Not realistic enough for you? Let's go back down to 8%. And let's see, you are now at $1.6 million at $1,000 per month. 8% is extremely conservative. I like to say at least 10%. And that gives you $2.5 million after 30 years. If you're watching this video, I just want you to start, get going. Obviously, the younger you are, the more time that you have on your side, you're going to put this money back anyway. And then, if you're reading my blog posts and everything on my website and on my videos, I'm going to refer you to stocks and stuff that produce dividends. The ultimate goal is to just live off of your dividends. So you'll be having your money grow and you'll be living off of the profits as well. Okay, you've been with me this far, and I congratulate you for that because you're at the most important part. Now that you understand the differences between a mutual fund and an index fund and everything in between, now you need to know how to start. And when it comes to starting, it's very simple, actually. And I mentioned it earlier in the video. Okay, so there's other platforms like M1 Finance and Robinhood that are very popular right now. But as I also said before, that's where you invest in ETFs. You can't find mutual funds on these platforms. In order to find these specific mutual funds, you need to go over to websites that offer the specific fund. And so for this matter, you need to go over to fidelity.com, or you can go to vanguard.com. Those are the two most popular in the game right now that's doing their thing. And once you go there, you can just type up the type of fund. And if you go on my website, on my blog, you can see the list of different funds to choose from that do very well. Tons of other people are finding success with these particular types of mutual funds and index funds. You can't go wrong in investing in these, okay? You also have Schwab, Charles Schwab. It's like a mouthful of spit whenever I say that. Go over to their website and they also have a really good one. And so I'm only going to stick with those three for right now. I don't want to confuse you. I believe in trying to make things nice and simple for you. And then all you need to do is figure out how much the buy-in is. You sign up your account, you create your account, and you deposit the money and you make a purchase. It's really that simple, guys. It's nothing very difficult at all about this. By the way, I haven't even said it yet. If you relate to anything on this video, please hit the subscribe button right now. Jeez, y'all let me talk all this time without allowing me to tell you to subscribe to my channel. Now, the last bonus piece of content, I told you that there was one special thing when it comes to becoming a millionaire with index funds and mutual funds that a lot of people overlook. It is right in front of your face, and this is the best way to become a millionaire. And what is that one thing? Drum roll, please. Don't know if you heard that. I'm pretty sure you heard that. The best way to become a freaking millionaire is to save. Save. Now, I know I just made some of y'all mad because you said I waited all the way to the end of this video for you to tell me to save. Look, the fact of the matter is, if you go and you make a six-figure income, all right, you make at least $100,000 per year and you don't save any money, that means you can work that job for 10 years. You've made $1 million and you have nothing to show in your bank account to prove that you've made $1 million. So look, guys, pay off your debts, sell as much things as you can in order to hit your goals. Take side hustles, create a new business, something, but don't get something that has a crazy amount of overhead and just puts you more in debt. You need to be able to save your money. And so now when you get that six-figure job and you're able to put back 60% of that, which is $60,000, you're that much closer to becoming a millionaire. And even if you don't have a six-figure job, the whole point of me just making this example is because the numbers just make sense, right? $100,000 times 10 is $1 million. You get the point. But if you make $40,000 per year, if you make $60,000 per year, you need to be able to save. And so that supplemented with the fact of allowing your money to work for itself within the stock market in the form of these index funds and mutual funds and ETFs and CDs and bonds and all this stuff, the money is working for you. You're getting interest paid to you. But if you're going to spend that money right away, what use is it? Seriously, guys. So stop spending your money. Stop going to the liquor store to buy you a bottle of cognac. Stop buying your buddy's cognac. Lay off the Patron. Stop going to the club and dropping $200 to $300 on stuff and your friends just to show them that you got money. It's not worth it, because at the end of the day, if somebody is in trouble, they're not going to pay your way out. You're going to hit them up and they're going to say, hey, I don't got it. It is time to get serious, guys. Start saving your money and you will hit your goals faster than you can blink. That was corny, I know. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any questions, if there was any knowledge bombs that just exploded, if anything made sense, please drop those comments down below. Please don't drop nothing crazy, because I will not respond to you. But if you have a question or something, I love to respond down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up on this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So please subscribe. Hit the bell icon once you hit that subscribe button. That way you will be notified whenever I upload new content. Follow me along my journey, because when I win, you also win. And share this video. Share it with a couple of friends and family and stuff. So until then, I'm giving you the deuces. See you next time.